Thank you. That little piece right there is put together by our marketing department. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, we stepping it up a bit up in here. All right, Club Advisory, we taking to the next level. Okay, so I would like to welcome everybody to Club 5-6 Advisory. I would like to welcome Colonel Richardson, Lieutenant Colonel Johnson, Mr. Vance, and everybody welcome. All right, so let's get started. So I would like to first start off with to give you an update on Club Modernization, the franchises that's coming. So it's a little delay in it, so it'll be starting in the end of April. And also, of course, that is subject to change. Okay, so we'll give updates as needed. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to give an update on that.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm going to give, here, let me get over here so you can hear me. Club Advisory only works if we're transparent with everybody, okay? I would be remiss if I told you it was delayed and I was happy about it. Frankly, I'm not happy about it at all, right? This is a year and change in the making. And yes, the pandemic certainly impacted the central NAF, right? No doubt about it. That NAF also received infusion of cash as a result of the CARES Act, right? To essentially cover down on WSL, but also, depending on the activities, cover down on some losses, right? That provided us an opportunity. Here at Luke, we continued investments that we committed to. Because the mission at Luke isn't changing. The airmen are not going away. Their families are not going away, right? They're going to be here when we come out of this pandemic. And we owe them an enduring investment and commitment to that. Does it come with risk? Yes. Do we know for a fact that the coronavirus will go away? I don't know that it'll go away, right? I'm not a scientist. But I do believe that through vaccination and herd immunity and the right policies, we will get back to a normalcy in terms of our pattern of life. We cannot atrophy those investments. We cannot not do anything until that time happens, whether that's a month from now or 6 months from now or whenever. Because there's going to be a lot of people scrambling when that light switch turns back on. They're like, oh, we need money and we need to start doing things. No. Now's the time to do those things. We need to be prepared in the same way we prepare for battles that we don't know are ever going to come. I mean, in the same argument is, why are we flying airplanes if we don't have a war to fight? No. So, super disappointed, found out about it last night from Colonel Johnson. It is at least a 30-day delay, right? So it's not, hey, we're going to start. I'm done saying we're going to start. But I can tell you that senior leadership is going to engage the Air Force Services Center. What I've asked Colonel Johnson just as I walked in to do was to reach out to the Services Center and find out what the cost difference is. So essentially, you go out for bid, there's a number of contracts that are involved here, and that price point came up higher than the Services Center was willing to accept. That happens for all of us, right? We're going to build a house, contractor comes back, hey, that's not what we kind of agreed to, that's a little higher, let's negotiate. So the negotiation window, which I thought we'd been in for some measure of time now, will continue. I'm okay if it saves the Air Force some money. That makes sense to me. Okay, but what I've asked for is, what is that difference? Is it $1 million? Is it $100,000? If that number, which numbers matter, as you guys know, is reasonable, maybe we'll take it to our NAF council and fund the difference, even if that's within the realm of the possible. I don't know. But I'm going to pursue everything, because what I don't want is that negotiation to result in us getting less than what we deserve in terms of the quality and the service. In other words, you guys have been around the Air Force a long time. What does a renovation normally look like in the Air Force? Looks like a fresh coat of paint and some new furniture. I got news for you. That is not a renovation, right? And so when a contractor comes in and wants to build something to spec that provides consumers, patrons, a like or similar experience to what they would get off base. So for BurgerFi, if you're an Arizona State student, when you walk into BurgerFi down there, it better look exactly like it looks down here. Otherwise, it's going to feel like we put lipstick on something that probably shouldn't have lipstick on it. You know? So that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, it's a 30-day delay, but it's more complex than that. And we owe you the exact story. We owe it to you timely. And leadership will continue to pursue getting that done sooner than later. All right? Getting that restaurant here stops us from purging money out of the club. I mean, this is a risk investment, right? And I know sometimes it's hard to understand you got to spend money to save money. Well, you do. Otherwise, we need to stop doing stuff, right? Which means closing things. And if the lesson of the bowling alley is any indication for anybody, we probably shouldn't have closed that. We probably could have figured that piece out, right? It's about risk, okay? So more to come. I appreciate it. There was more to that story. I wanted to tell it. All right, thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. So before I continue, everybody please sign into the sign-in sheets. And also, interaction is welcome, please. So next one I'm moving to is the club programs. So we have a few programs happening within the next month or so. We have UFC March 6th. Please come out. We have great gifts, giveaways. We're going to do it in the ballroom. It's a great fight, great card. So please come out for that. Then we have, after that, we have Family Feud, March 12th. Please come out for that. Fun time. We did it once here. Everybody enjoyed it. After that, we have St. Patrick's Day Trivia on Wingman Wednesday on the 17th. Please come out and enjoy that. Then after that, we have another UFC on March 27th. Please come out for that. And then we have brunch, Easter brunch on April 4th. Please come out for that. It's going to be a great meal. Enjoy. Bring your family. Don't worry about cooking, cleaning, or anything. Please come out. So I do have one question. Is there any programs that anybody would like to see? Any suggestions? Anything that on your mind right now that you think that you would like to see here? Yes, sir.
So we talked about before, beer, wine, whiskey tasting.
Okay. And anything else? Yes.
From a young earners perspective, I would say a lot of volunteer programs.
Okay. Anybody else?
Membership night.
Membership night. We are in the works of that. Yes, sir. That is a good one.
If I want to host an event here, how much does it cost me to come in here and use this facility?
If you're a member, the room fee is waived, so it's free.
I sponsor a group of non-members. So if I want to bring my flight in here and use this facility, right, whether that's to buy drinks or whatever, can I sponsor those people in
If
here?
you're a member and you have your name on it, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, and we'll get deeper into that later with membership perks for you. Okay. Anybody else on any programs, anything you would like to see in the club?
Jazz night.
Jazz night. Okay, that's a good one.
I haven't seen karaoke around here. Must throw that on the board.
Okay. That is always a good one. Yes.
How about a talent night or an open mic night?
Talent night. It's definitely on my radar. Have a Luke talent night. It is definitely on my radar.
You don't need to hear me sing there.
No, please don't. Please don't. Anybody else?
How about spades or Pinot?
Spades tournament, which we need to get back to that because like we used to do on Thursday, we used to have gambling night, or rather poker night. I'm sorry, poker night. Definitely spades. I'm down for spades. I need a good partner though.
I'm not know how to cheat, right?
Exactly. All right. Anything else? All right. Anybody else? Thank you. Those are a lot of good suggestions, and I definitely will get to work and get some planning. Okay. Okay.
I would say board games night, because there's some folks just, I don't even know the name of them, but some of those get pretty intense. So they kind of bring your own deal. Maybe there's some they can get return if they bring a board and game themselves or something like that.
So of course, we'll get to planning and seeing what we can do. Of course, we need to stay within the realm of COVID restrictions, as everybody hopes that this does end soon. We'll get these programs going for you. And if you got any suggestions anytime, please contact us and let us know, okay? So next, what I want everybody to understand is how to become a member, okay? This is very important because I think a lot of people are missing out on benefits you can get with the club. And I want to expand those extra perks that you can get from being a member in the club. what you can do is you can go to to the website first to become a member, and you can go to myairforcelife.com/clubs/club membership, and you can follow the steps to become how to become a member. Then also remember to download the app, the Membership Planet app. Then also you can contact Cindy, our caterer, or myself. Or first, I'm sorry, I must apologize. Let me stop for a second. I would like to introduce our new operations manager, Amanda. All right. She just started today officially. So thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you can contact her as well as we get her up to speed on everything. Okay. All right. So next, let's talk about membership perks. There's a lot of things you can get from being a member. And like I said, I would like to add more, which I am on a process of adding some more perks for everybody. One, when you come here for lunch, you can get $1 off. Then also what you can get is you get your cater events, like what Colonel Richardson said. When you come here, you get a room. The room fee is waived. So that's really good because the room fees are pretty high. Next, what you can get is 10% on your food with the catering events, which is great. That's a big discount. And also, what I'd like everybody to know, we have a new catering menu that was presented to us from agency. It's a great menu. So please, a lot of more options for everybody to eat. Next, you can get discounts at other FSS facilities in the squadron here. Like, for example, you can get outdoor rec 10% off of all your equipment, the equipment at Arts and Craft, 10% off on engraving. Golf course, 10% off of green fees and your cart rentals. Those are pretty pricey, so 10%, that adds up. That's pretty good. Then also on top of that, when you travel or you go TDY, being a club member, you also can get discounts at other bases also. So adds up, especially when you're traveling. Everybody knows that can be a little expensive. So take advantage of all your membership perks. Okay, all right. Then also what you can get also here at the club, one thing I forgot is every third Friday here we have social hour, free food, free snacks, everything. Especially once we get back from COVID restrictions, we'll go back to having our buffet we used to have. Come here, enjoy, socialize, get off of work, bring the family, eat free food. Like, once again, don't worry about dishes, don't worry about no cleanup, nothing. Every third Friday, okay? So next one I'd like to talk about is menus, what we provide here at the club. One, we have 3 locations that we have facilities open. We have here the sandwich line during lunch here. We have the G-Force Cafe up in the blockhouse on the 3rd floor. And then we also have the food truck over at the community commons. So here at the lunch line here, we have different sandwiches, we have wraps, we have burgers, we have the customer favorites, the Monterey wrap. That's the #1 seller here. It's very good. G-Force Cafe, we have food to order there. We're just going to start doing burgers again. You can have burgers, you can have wraps. Yes. But that comes from feedback I get from everybody. So we're going to start doing the burgers again up there in G-Force. You get wraps, salads. We do it to order, fresh. And at the food truck, we also provide basically Tex-Mex food. So we have burritos, steak and chicken burritos, street tacos, bowls. We also have burgers there. We have salads. We have different varieties. So I want to ask this. Does anybody have any suggestions you would like to see at the club serving? Any food items, menu? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm carrying this for some folks I've ran into interacting. There's not a lot of vegan options.
Okay.
There's a lot of variation when we say vegan, but it's not a lot of options.
Okay. Anything else?
Consistency.
Okay. Thank you. That's a big one. That is very good. You're right. That is something we're definitely working on is consistency because you got to. Because when you come in and you want to get your order, you want to have it the same way you had it last time. You want to make sure that it tastes good, it tastes the same, and trust me. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Craft beer.
Craft beer. All right.
Beer tasting, craft beer.
Yep. It comes together.
Can we bring back the original Club 5-6 on regular bread, no barbecue sauce?
We will work on that. So the one thing that also what everybody said, we working side by side with agency on our menus. So when we work with them, they give us their suggestions on things that they feel that's good for us to serve here. So we work together as a team. So that's something I can bring up to them is bring that original Club 5-6 back on that 3 pieces of bread. I got feedback from that exactly this morning. So yes, original Club 5-6, I got you. Anything else?
So I've got one for you.
Yes, sir.
So I've got a number of senior leaders that love bringing people to the club, and they're trying to introduce people to the club. When they bring people to the club, occasionally it takes forever to get their food. And so they go, hey man, I'm trying to do my part here, but it's not super convincing when we can do that. Now, sometimes that's a good news story because we've got a lot of people in the club, right? And it can kind of max perform our ability to get food out. But I think being efficient and being timely is important, particularly if we want to attract customers to an opportunity where they don't have a lot of time to eat. They want to get in, they want to get good food, and they want to get out. So I think that's something that should be always on our minds in terms of caring about the patrons' time. If that makes sense.
And you're exactly right. And that goes with continuing training to the cooks in the back and the staff. So it's definitely something that we'll continue working on. Thank you very much. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
So to go on that, would there be a way to do like pre-orders?
Pre-orders?
Like if they pre-ordered that, and then that way as soon as they come in, they can be plated and
I mean, you certainly could. I mean, I think it's the patron's choice, right?
Right.
I mean, if we're telling them they have to pre-order to get their food on time, that's probably not the right message, right? But if they can pre-order so they can walk in and walk out with their food, well, that's completely different, right? I mean, so I think we just need to think through what is it that what experience do we want the patron to have? Because their experience will either inspire another experience from someone else, or it's going to be their barrier to coming back ever, unfortunately, right? So, yeah, it's a fair point.
And also on top of that, we're going to start having on Wingman Wednesday, not just the wings, we'll have our regular bar menu also. I've gotten a lot of feedback from retirees and military staff that says they would like to see more options on Wingman Wednesday. So starting tonight, we'll have the bar menu. Then I'm going to work on another bar menu so we can give different options, like you said, vegan. Just give everybody different options so they can come out and relax and enjoy. Because we got a big community. We don't just serve the military, we serve retirees, we serve everybody. I want everybody to come out. So I want to reach every group because that's what we're here for. So, yes, sir.
I think, Derek, we may need to consider those specials that we were doing for a while. Because when we had specials, folks knew exactly what they wanted to get. So if you had barbecue ribs as a special today, everybody knows you're going to get barbecue ribs until they run out. And it didn't take that long to get them because we already cooked them. So if you have a menu where you have something set for a special each day of the week, and you can prep and prepare and have that stuff ready, it's not a long wait. And also limited time offers. I know the agency has a list of limited time offers, LTOs that you can use, and you can actually get those in bulk. And if that's one of your specials, let's say a gyros this week is the limited time offer. So for this week only, you can get gyros at the club, 2 for $5. You can go out and you can buy them in bulk, you can have them ready to go, and it wouldn't be a long wait. But specials and LTOs are a great way to minimize and cut down on the wait time because you know exactly what on the menu that day and what the plan is so you can prepare and have that stuff ready to go and get it out quickly.
Yes, sir. I agree with you, sir. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anybody else? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Put this up. I know you know I'm working on it.
Yes, sir.
But we should have the ability to deliver food
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
on base.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Richardson, you stole my presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. No, you're fine. You're fine, sir. It's good. Okay. Okay. All right. So the last thing I would like to touch on is, as everybody know, we have new bar here. So the next step and phase is the heritage that we're working on. We have a new crud table coming, a full-size one, new one. That's on the agenda. Is anything that anybody else have a suggestion they would like to see in here? Any ideas? It's something in progress that we're going to be working on, but we would like any feedback, anything off the top of the head that anybody would like to maybe see in here? Because this is your club.
Maybe some darts.
Darts, okay.
Derek, what happened to the pool table?
Pool table, we still have it. It's more room, pool table, okay. All right.
All right, so I'll jump in with a quick update. So we've talked about it's important that we create a genuine experience, right? This can't, I mean, nothing against Cracker Barrel, but when you go into Cracker Barrel, it looks authentic. A lot of those signs are made, right? They're antiqued. You know what I'm saying? So while I love the hash browns and I love it's not a genuine country store, right? It's a chain, right? When you come in here, when you come into a bar at a fighter wing, it should have a degree of genuineness, right? There is a long history of bars, and I don't mean to focus on the alcoholic adult beverages aspects of it. It's about a place where people can come and have discussions and learn, right? Which, if I'm not mistaken, is what we've been talking about a whole lot in the last year, about providing opportunities, providing spaces where people can come, right? Whether it's on duty or just off duty or transitioning between whatever it is, but it has to be genuine. So we've got 2 teams that are set up, both here and then Community Commons, that are going to build out those spaces, and it will be airmen that are building out those spaces. They will be genuine, right? So in terms of a crud table, this is just a case in point, right? That is not a crud table. If you don't know what crud is, grab me after the meeting. I'm happy to explain it, right? We're on the largest fighter wing in the world. We should, in the bar, have a genuine crud table. It speaks to the audience we're trying to draw in. It speaks to the traditions that we are trying to maintain, right? So we're going to invest in that properly. Nothing against a pool table. I love playing pool too, but we will have a crud table right in this space. We might find another space for a pool table. We are limited for sure. So if there are ideas, there are teams that have leads that are pulling these things together. Each of the units, their leadership teams are pulling together what represents them and their airmen. There will be an opportunity for airmen to leave their mark here. In the same way that airmen, before they launched on bomber missions into Germany, left their marks in the Eagle bars all over the United Kingdom. And those names are still there today, right? So when an airman, as you've heard me talk about before, comes here as a brand new airman in a maintenance unit, is an F-35 maintainer their entire career, comes back here as a 56 maintenance group superintendent and still sees their name that they signed as a A1C or senior airman, that matters. Each one of those names has a story to tell, right? And so we're looking to create a genuine space, both here and the community commons. I'd create more spaces if we could, right? But there's sense of ownership and involvement from leaders, middle tier leaders, beneficiaries and retirees and veterans. That's what's going to make it successful, right? Complemented with good food and timely service and all the things that probably should go without saying. But we've got to have the right space. And people will know if it's genuine, and they'll know if it's not. So I appreciate you guys' involvement and super excited to see it happen.
All right, thank you, sir.
So next, I'd like to, thank you very much, sir. Next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kath at 1600, then the actual games will start at 1800.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to make this short and sweet because we have some other stuff that we need to get to. But first and foremost, if I may, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Derek for all the hard work he's put through in this last year. I don't know if you guys realize how much has been involved in putting this together, as well as working with services to try to get some of this stuff going for the airmen. It's been a lot of work, and I've been in the middle trying to navigate. So first, Derek, I want to thank you for my staff for the hard work you've put into this. But I wanted to just really put on the points of some of the things that he has mentioned and then Colonel Richardson had mentioned. The membership information, if you didn't write down that email or that website really quick that he spit out, all that information about the membership, club membership, is available on our website, Luke Events. If you haven't been to the new website, it looks pretty cool, if I must say so myself. But if your groups are interested in becoming a member, it's not just about club. There's lots of other opportunities for club membership that's on the website. And then he was also talking about QR codes. or menus and the QR codes for your staff to be able to order quickly. We're updating those. We just got some information from services, and like he was alluding to, a lot of this stuff has to go through somebody else before it can get approved. So we just got some information to change some QR codes. If you look on the napkin rings, those aren't right. Don't use those. But we're going to get those updated for everybody to go to the food truck, to the cafe upstairs, and for the facility here. So look for those around the base, and you'll know the difference between the old QR codes and the new QR codes if they're brown. So if you see the turquoise colors, that's the old information. The new information, Brandy, is about something that I want to talk to you about with Colonel Richardson's comment about Cracker Barrel. It's becoming more consistent, and the charge that my staff and I are taking on in the next couple of months to take advantage of the time that we have is to transition what was known as FSS and all the facilities that we offer, primarily the club, in Luke Eats, and getting ahead of the Luke Eats concept that he was alluding to a minute ago. Again, we're not very consistent with what we offer, and I know a lot of the staff is working hard to become consistent, but when you go to McDonald's, you know what you're going to get. When you come to the club, it's a question mark, right? So part of the branding that you'll see from my staff over the next couple months is about branding FSS and the facilities. So look for those. If you see turquoise, call my office, tell me that it's out there, and I'm going to get those pulled down. Yes, I know there's a sign out there right now. So turquoise is gone, brown is good. So in terms of getting feedback from your customers or your staff, if you look on your table, there are some opportunities. We have a great list to get started, but we right now have a customer insight survey that's live. I encourage you to get your phone out and scan the code right now. That's how your young airmen, your officers, everybody can get information to us. I have a goal of 100 surveys. We're at 20, so if you can give me 80, that would be pretty cool. That way we can get insight from the people who want to give us their feedback, but they can't come to meetings like this and write it up on the board. So the customer insight survey. In addition, just because I have your attention, I wanted to point out that there's a school liaison survey out there. Jackie, kill me if I didn't say something about that. So if you have kids in the school system right now, they're looking for feedback. And then ICE campaign. I wanted to let you guys know that we're doing a year-long ICE campaign. Every month throughout the rest of the year, we are going to focus on a different FSS facility. We know with ICE comments, there's good and bad. We're ready. We got our thick skin on. Annie has really wanted us to push the food services because we want to know what your customers, your people want from us. So encourage them to fill out the ICE campaign. If they do a customer insight survey, guess what? They get a free burger to come back and try out Derek's food. And if you do an ICE campaign, there is $50 gift card from USAA, randomly chosen at the end of every month. So that's my update for today. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Luke Eats the next time, the branding and the marketing that we're doing around that project while we have the opportunity before we actually get to have delivery servicer. Any questions for marketing?
Thank you, ma'am, for that. All right. So this pretty much concludes our club advisory. First, I would like, does any leadership or anybody have any last-minute remarks? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I just have a question. So I know we were talking about being a member and having those incentives, but is there a way to, so what I'm thinking about is, right, is as a master sergeant, I could try to bring people in here, but how do we get the airmen to come on their own? So is there a way to kind of level that out as far as tiers go, as far as incentives for being a member? I don't really know the answer to that, but like thinking about it, like if you're a member and we have some form of raffle, not to exclude anybody, but or if you come to the club and you, because I know like over at the blockhouse, like get over there, they have the little cards where you punch it and eat like 10 times or something like this, you get a free meal. So is that something that we could kind of tier out for the different tiers in the NCO Corps, Officer Corps as well, as far as getting the airmen to be more viable to come here on their own and keeping them here, rather than just like he was saying, as far as just bringing them in and hoping that they would pass the information along.
So
First, what I'm planning on doing is doing a membership drive.
Okay.
So start with a membership drive with different things. Give people show them the incentive, show them what they get, push them to come in. And then there's a couple other programs I'm trying to put together so that we can have have senior leadership, bring your airmen in here and show them so they can come here. Show them what they're missing. So I'm gonna put that stuff together, like a membership drive is gonna happen real soon. I'm just putting it together right now, and then we'll go from there.
So I think the question, if I understand your question, and I think all those mechanisms make sense, but there's currently a tiered pay structure for membership,
Right.
which I don't know if everybody understands.
Right.
But I think what I hear you saying is if there's a tiered benefit, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
if it's 10% off for me to play golf as a colonel, is it only 10% for an airman? Now, the price to play for an airman is already significantly lower than it is for me as a colonel. So, but I think to your point is maybe we take a fresh look at what the benefits are relative to the population we're attracting.
Right.
And no different than when we used to have Air Force balls pre-COVID and all those kind of things, right? Ticket prices can be adjusted, or we try to take care of prices for those. Obviously, as a business, it would have to be consistent and sustainable. But I think if you're talking about looking at what those perks are and having some type of graduated scale beyond just the cost of membership, which is already graduated, I think that's something we can look at, or at least make sure everybody's on the same page in terms of what that is.
Yes, sir.
Because I think if they had it and it was represented right, they might know that, man, I don't even know. I think I pay $19 a month. Anybody, what's everybody else? I'm not even going to ask who's a member. But I think mine's 19. Like, I couldn't even tell you right now. I used to know. If an A1C wanted to be a member, what do they pay? What is it? What is it? $9. So, it's half of what I pay. They should probably pay less than half. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if we can control the $9, but maybe we control for $9 you get 15% off of golf. I don't know that. I'd have to leave that up to the business managers to take a look. But
Yes, sir.
that's a fair point.
So I'm an airman, and I think it's kind of important for the airmen to know what type of events are going on so that they'll be more attracted to it. But I honestly, in my opinion, I don't even think airmen know that there's a membership discount for our rate like that. So I think if they know that, then
I think that's a fair point. I mean, it is, and I know that's what our marketing team is trying to get after, right? And that's what we're talking about in terms of these spaces, is building spaces out to get people in there without it driving a requirement, right? If we have a righteous gaming, if we have a gaming environment or we have a bar and eating environment that people are not used to seeing, gigablast internet, people are going to be there just because of that. And then as a part of being there and seeing it, it's like the Death Star, magnetron. Like, what's going to take people to get there? But I think it's a fair point, and I don't know what the current state of, FTAC is in terms of talking about what the club opportunities are, or ALS, or we have a lot of flight command or flight leadership course. We have a lot of touch points, right? And waypoints in a member's career where we can reiterate it. Maybe you heard it at FTAC, but also at FTAC, you're like, man, I'm trying to figure out how to be on this installation and work in my section, and sometimes the most important information we share with people, we share at the worst time possible, right? Like trying to get my house in order, trying to get my kids in school, and you're trying to tell me about $9 a month and it gets me 10% off of golf. I'm going to probably not think about that for a while.
because I really hang out with the people that I work with, but if people can go to different squadrons, I think that would be cool too, to learn. To meet new people and to kind of get outside of your daily routine of going to work with your coworkers and we can go do this and that. I think it's important to actually meet new people at the same time.
You just explained the sole and most important reason why this investment is made, right? The history of it, right, particularly in the operations realm, was each fighter squadron or each rated squadron would have its own hooch or its own bar, right? And frankly, a lot of combat sports do too. And they would end their day because leadership allowed that to happen, right? Maybe a little early would be their debrief period, talk about the week, talk about the challenges, and then they'd push to the big house. The big house was the main bar. And they would all, whether it was a different weapon system or a different fighter squadron or combat support with rated and maintenance, we'd all come together and we'd form those bonds. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of natural, right? People, maybe one squadron would hang out over there, and then, but by the end of the night, as you have games that are going on in CRUD, which is another purpose of that, exactly to your point, you get to meet new people. You get to appreciate and understand what people do, both professionally and who they are as people. And so I think this space can prove out to be that again, right? And look, the Air Force went away from it for a lot of different reasons, and that's a whole nother hour-long conversation. We're not interested in bringing back some of the traditions and the elements of culture that were toxic. That's not what we're talking about. But if you're going to go hang out with your friends at Westgate, at Dave & Buster's or wherever, why can't I build a safe space here for you to enjoy that as you pivot away from work or as you transit if you're in the dorms or you're on base? I should be able to provide that. And that ties into Uber, and it ties into our pedestrian gates that we're working on so that you can get on and off base safe. There's a lot of other projects mixed in, but I like your inputs. That's very fair. Great input, too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For the airmen here, I would like to say thank you for coming. It's been really appreciated, and we hope that you will let other airmen know that you did come and it was a open and friendly environment. But along with that, I'd like to ask you, how would you like for us to send this information out? What media outlet can we use to hit your population, your generation?
I say everybody comes inside the DFAT, and it's mainly airmen like me, but I think starting somewhere like maybe putting up flyers or something like that inside the DFAC, and then us, because we're already giving out comment cards and stuff like that on what the food is like, and how you said earlier, sir, like vegan options and stuff like that will help a lot too. But I think the DFAC will probably be a good way to get people to know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
It's okay to talk about community comments a little bit. So I'm in charge of, I said it before, in the club advisory councils. I'm in charge of the community commons area where we're trying to build out the enlisted space. Now that doesn't mean that it's only allowed for enlisted members to go there, but we're trying to capture enlisted traditions and heraldry and things of that nature. Here they're doing the officer look. We're going to do the enlisted look over there to attract some of those and promote some of those enlisted traditions and things that we do. So we got a lot of thoughts and ideas on what we're wanting to do. One of those is we're going to have the gaming area over there we're talking about the Xbox, PlayStations, computers, the gaming league that's being formed on this installation. We're trying to build out space for them so they can go and maybe show off some of their skills. We're looking at Luke Air Force Base has the #1 population right now as far as iRacers, people that are on the computer and racing, like NASCAR drivers and stuff like that, what they do for their virtual driving. We have the biggest population here, so we're in tune with that. And we're actually trying to find a way to get one of those full-up chassis into the gaming area as well. So a lot of ideas like that are coming out and fleshing out over there. The officers have CRUD, which is an awesome, energetic game, but what do we have for enlisted as far as gaming? What attracts us? And that's what we want to bring over there. I don't have the answer for that, because a lot of our enlisted traditions were lost, and we're trying to bring those back. So the more people we have involved in this, we'll be able to bring that to community commons, where we will have our own bar there and the gaming area. And it's for all ranks, because I want to show the officers on this base what we bring to the table, and it's not just the work aspect. It's how we let our hair down. It's how we have a good time, right? Just like they do here. And we should be able to come out and enjoy that atmosphere, where when I was coming up, that was not allowed. You had to be invited into it. And there's reasons for that. There's boundaries and reasons, but I think we're lowering some of those for a good cause. And we want to bring the good stuff and not the hazing and the toxicity that used to exist in our spaces. So I'm in charge of that. We have about 20 members involved in the committee right now. If you want to get involved, I'm the only Hodgin on base. The Mr. Sport Group Superintendent, pretty easy to find. So reach out to me, and I'm not going to turn you away. I'm going to get you involved immediately and then go from there. And we do have some as far as rules of engagement, we're going to create our own rules of engagement, but what we're trying to do is blend them together in a way that when you walk into this space or you walk over there, there's some normalities, but there's also some uniqueness about it. And then also when we're talking about the food options and stuff, we're actually thinking about being a little bit competitive and what we try to offer there as far as our voice and to the club leadership, so that, hey, they have the Wingman Wednesday over here, maybe they have something over there as well. So people have more options across the installation. So reach out to me if you want to get involved. Sir Pies is also on my committee there, another avenue to get involved as well. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Quick question. Do we know how many members are for the club at Luke Air Force Base, and can that be broken down into demographics, like active duty, retiree officers? So when we do memberships,
I can do that. I don't know the exact amount right now, the exact number. I didn't know how much fees we get. I do know that. So,
Right.
but the exact number, and we can break that down. It's easy. We got it all in the membership plan.
That way we can show how many members are at the club, and then when we do a membership drive, we can see if it's working
Yes.
or if it's not working.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. All right. Anybody else? All right. And last but not least, sir, I really appreciate your feedback and everything. And I want to give you 3 free lunches. Bring you and bring 2 of your airman counterparts to come eat lunch at the club. Really appreciate your feedback. It was really great. Okay. So, all right. So now we wrap up our club advisory. Thank you very much. It was a great meeting. I hope everybody enjoyed yourself. And next we have NAF Council.